You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
The road to the MIVA final runs through Muncie, Indiana, as top-seeded Ball State welcomes the 8th-seeded Northern Kentucky to Worthen Arena. 65 years of Division I volleyball squares off against the program in year one. 8 teams are hungry to represent the Midwest come tournament time, but only one can be crowned champion. Welcome to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. I'm Dylan Budd. To my left is Sam Klug. Sam, with the 1 seed and home court advantage in their control, this really feels like it's Ball State's tournament to lose.
Yeah, it really does feel like that. I mean, Ball State has been the clear number one all year long. Maybe Loyola for a little bit, but Ball State took that regular season title. But you have to remember, their relationship with this tournament has not been as bright as some think. You think back to the last time they won it, 2022. So they're in about a 4-year drought. And then 2024, they host it and they lose in a heartbreaker to Ohio State at home. So it has not been the kindest. They're looking to get some get back, and I'm sure they'll get off to a great start today with a fairly easy opponent, but none to underestimate in Northern Kentucky.
And we got to take a look at how both of these squads got here, starting with the Northern Kentucky Norse. Their last weekend was losses against Lindenwood and McKendree to close out the year at 2-14 in MIVA play. Those 2 wins were against the bottom Queens University, and that was just enough to get them in the 8-hole.
That's right, and since those 2 wins, they have lost 4 straight, and they are 1-12 in sets played. 12 sets lost overall out of 13 played, and again, they won 1 versus McKendree in their last game played. It was set number 2. But they've just been in a slump. And like you said, these bottom, maybe those positions 7, 8, 9, they get a bye into the tournament. But does it really mean a lot? Well, for them it does, because they're a first-year program. But Ball State looking to make easy work of the Norse.
And as for Ball State, they closed out the year with 2 games against Lewis and Loyola. The former, there was a little bit of worry after losing to the Flyers in Worthen in 5, but closed out the year with a dominant showing, beating the 2-seeded Loyola Ramblers in 3.
Yeah, a little bit of an asterisk with Loyola missing some of their good players, but nonetheless, they dominated them with the sweep through all 3 sets. Lewis, like you said, a little bit of shaky, some panic buttons maybe hitting internally inside of the heads of some of these players. And you look at Ball State's 4 losses this season: UCLA, Ohio State, Loyola, all very good squads. They beat up on some teams out west, and then you get the Lewis loss, and you're like, okay, where is this team positioned? They were still able to get it done, beat Loyola, capture that number 1 seed. So they get to host this whole MIVA tournament if they keep winning.
When you take a look at this tournament bracket in the big picture, in the other half of what we've got going on today, you've got the 2-seeded Loyola Ramblers facing off against Purdue-Fort Wayne, a team that has faced each other very recently, come to think of it. But the other matchup is 3-seeded Lindenwood against the 6-seeded Lewis. The big one for Ball State that they got to worry about to this point, the 4-5 McKendree against Ohio State.
Yeah, and Ohio State, like I said a little bit ago, is a team that swept Ball State in Columbus, teams that has given them some trouble throughout this entire season. You think back to last year, McKendree was a co-champion along with Loyola. Nikki Salen and that squad, I would say never doubt them out. They are such a good program. Anything can happen. And eventually, between those 2 games, and if Ball State is able to capture the win today with a great Northern Kentucky crowd on hand, that would be a ultimate matchup in Worthen.
We'll touch on impact players and starting lineups momentarily, but first it's the national anthem here in Muncie. We're going to step aside. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. fresh for everyone.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Ranked #1 in the nation by the Broadcast Education Association. This is Ball State Sports Link with Sports Link Digital Radio.
National anthem concluding here in Worthen Arena. We're about to see the Ball State Cardinals facing the Northern Kentucky Norse, and it gives us a chance to look at the starting lineups, beginning with the Northern Kentucky Norse. You've got the utility man Juan Marco Diaz, labeled as an outside, an opposite, a setter, a libero. Nick Whitley will be the main setter, as he has been all year. The two guys in the middle, you've got Adam Blair from Westchester, Ohio, and Ryan Peterson from just down the road at Cathedral High School. Will McElvin will be the opposite hitter for the Norse, and then Griffin Wheatley, that main outside threat for the Norse. It looks like the libero today will be none other than Leo Trespeses-Wink, who got his first kill of his Division I career in their last game against McKendree. So Trespeses-Wink coming off the bench in a spot normally Trace Clousing, the reigning MAC Defensive Player of the Week, would have.
Yeah, quite interesting. Don't know if it's an injury. We're not entirely sure. We're not all keyed into everything, but it's something to look out for. Leo Trespeses-Wink, the native of Chicago, Illinois, another one of those freshmen on this squad, also can play outside hitter. And again, like you said, only one kill on the year. He has played in 43 sets, though, so it's not like a guy who's just coming in cold and nobody knows about him. He's a guy to look out for. Interesting lineup. And then on the Ball State side, the really big thing is no Braden Savitsky-Lynn.
Absolutely. It's that hole in the middle blocker spot. Will Basilio is the first outside hitter on this Cardinal squad. The other is our impact player, Patrick Rogers. Opposite from him is baby giraffe Ryan Lewis in a breakout year of his own. The Cardinals libero will be the senior from Brazil, Victor Scherer. Lucas Machado will be setting. And then the two guys in the middle today, Jacob Surrett and Daniel Gunther.
Yeah, I mean, the middle blocker position has kind of been a carousel for Ball State this year. I mean, coming into the season, you think it's Braden Savitsky-Lind and Will Patterson with his height. It's completely switched. They've had probably about 8 different combinations of players in that middle block position, and now they've switched to a true freshman and a guy who transferred in this season. So completely not what you expected at the beginning of the year, but this is the playoffs. Some guys aren't healthy, and this is what matters now.
What's going to be very intriguing to me with the lack of Trace Clousing being able to play, yes, Trespeses-Wink is going to be the starting libero today, but with Juan Marco Diaz being able to play pretty much all around the floor, I wonder if he'll get some time in that libero shirt as well.
Yeah, you really could see him anywhere. I mean, you just go down his stat sheet, 119 kills. He also has 94 digs and 18 blocks to go along with it. He literally does it all. He's listed at every position, but physically, he can do everything on the volleyball court.
Ball State wearing their red gradient jerseys. Northern Kentucky on the road in their white. The libero Trespeses-Wink in black with yellow lettering. As for Ball State, it's that white lettering, and the liberos, Adir Ben-Shlush and Victor Scherer, both in their black gradient jerseys, red numbers. It's an exciting matchup ahead of us. The 1 seed against the 8. Ball State, the best record they've had since 2022, a year where they won the MIVA tournament, their most recent one, and one that took them to the Final Four.
Yeah, I mean, 4 out of the last 5 years, they've taken home at least a share of the MIVA regular season title. This year, they win it outright. And now Coach Iandolo is the 5th coach in Ball State history, and their history has 6 head coaches. So he is the 5th out of 6 head coaches to take home the MIVA regular season title in his first year at the helm. Just a crazy stat, and funny how it repeats itself so often.
In just this century alone, it's been the show of Joe Walton, Donan Cruz, and now Mike Iandolo, who in his first year, like you said, a regular season title, the best record since Donan Cruz's first year under the helm, and he just won MIVA Coach of the Year, a well-deserved award for an incredible change of regime.
Oh, I know. I mean, he gets hired full-time mid-summer. You're mid-swing of things. You're already heading straight toward the fall. Your students are about to get back on campus. the way he was able to orchestrate this organization and this program, get them back on track, and lead them to 22 wins in a regular season, that is crazy.
When it comes to Ball State, there were several players in MIVA honors. You've got Patrick Rogers and Lucas Machado, first team All-MIVA, second team All-MIVA, Braden Savitsky-Lind, and Ryan Lewis.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. This is Hadassah Harris with CBS's WLFI 18, a proud SportsLink alum. Chirp, chirp.
Here we go, both teams coming out to the floor for set one to be underway. Ball State, Northern Kentucky, the MIVA quarterfinal, the road to a championship running through this very room, the Mecca, Worthen Arena. The first server will be Ryan Peterson, and his swing goes right into the lattice. It's been a problem across the conference. Service errors, Ball State 1-0.
Yeah, Peterson, 35 on the year. Not a guy you necessarily want to start with, but they went with him, and it did not pay off.
First in the rotation for the latter half of the year has been Patrick Rogers. It'll be the same today. A fastball of a serve, and the Norse can't handle it. Immediate 2-0 lead for Ball State.
Show him the money. 33 aces on the season, now leads the team.
Ninth in the MIVA in that regard, showing why he is first in this rotation. Trying to add to an early lead, here's Rogers. Right to the new libero, Trace Pace swing, and he can't handle it. It goes out of play.
Yeah, that inexperience at that position for Trace Pace's wink might be the exact reason Rogers was able to get that done. And you don't want to move the lineup around when it comes time for tournament play. You have to win these games.
So we start out with an NKU service error and then two straight aces from Patrick Rogers. Just like that, it's a 3-0 lead. Puts a little bit of a fireball in, and that's an error. It just goes too long, and the Norse get there first. It's 3-1.
Slow start for NKU, and if you're not a team you want to go down 1-0, even 2-0 to Ball State. One loss went up 1-0, and they're undefeated went up 2-0.
Next up in the rotation for the Norse, it's Will McElvin, the transfer from Ohio State. Basilio receives. It's Rogers from the back row. How about that for the AVCA semifinalist for Player of the Year? It's 4-1.
So two aces and a kill to start. My, oh my, Patrick Rogers showing why he's MIVA Player of the Year.
1 kill, 2 aces, 3 of the cards 4 points. Surrett next in line. The set from Whitley down the middle. Blair gets rejected. The Norse keep it up on a free ball. It's an error called illegal formation, and just like that, an early lead for the Cards. It's 5-1.
It looks like it kind of confusing the Norse offense. Ball State doing a good job of staying composed and smooth rolling so far.
So here comes Jacob Surrett. He goes from the line, touches the tape, but the Norse receive. From the back row, the try is from Wheatley. Instead, Ball State's point, Wheatley goes over that back row line, and it's 6-1.
If you're NKU, when do you take a timeout? It's already 6-1.
Seems right for Jacob Surrett. Transfer from Orange Coast College. He goes right to Trace Pace's wing. Whitney the set. And the try from Juan Marco Diaz, his first is unsuccessful. Basilio on the other end, he sticks the line to make it 7-1. It'll still be Jacob Surrett, just 2 servers at this point to Ball State. High toss from the middle blocker. Again, right to Trespace's wink. A fight at the stripe. And for the first time, Northern Kentucky gets their own point at 7-2.
Yeah, a little miscommunication from the Ball State offense there. The freshman Daniel Gunther is there again. Maybe some of that inexperience affecting, especially as we go into tournament play for the first time in his career.
So here comes Juan Marco Diaz. He's coming off his third double-double of the year. He sends it right to the arms of Patrick Rogers. We cross to Ryan Lewis, an easy tool for him off the arms of Griffin Wheatley. It's 8-2.
Yeah, Northern Kentucky went with a two-set block attempt right there. And again, Lewis saw that, hit it on the outer left shoulder of the defender, was able to send it out of bounds. Great kill so far from Ryan Lewis.
After getting the K, he's rewarded with the serve. 2 Norse fight for it. It's Blair right down the middle. That's the response you need if you're the visitors. It's 8-3.
Dylan, something I think a lot of people don't realize is how close this school is to Indiana. I mean, Northern Kentucky, not too far away. Pretty easy drive for a lot of the fans in attendance, but it's schools like that and Purdue Fort Wayne that they could really build rivalries with the distance.
So Blair now serves. It'll go to Basilio, who cracks the floorboards. Ball State 1 away from double digits in this early match.
The race is always the 15. It might be 15-5 by the time we get there. Domination so far from this Ball State offense.
And the load has been split. A kill each for Basilio, Lewis, and Rogers. Basilio tries from the stripe. Peterson gets it down. The Cards can't handle it. A sprawling Gunther can't bring it over. It's now 9-4, and the margin is 5. So now we see the setter, Nick Whitley, one of 2 guys from Cathedral High School just down the road in Indianapolis. The lefty offers to Will Basilio. Third touch, Rogers. Easy pickings for the Roadrunner. Cards win the race to double digits.
Now it's 5 attacks, 5 kills, a perfect attack clip right now, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. What a start, and a bold start for this team in the MIVA tournament.
So here's Daniel Gunther getting the start today with Braden Savitsky-Lynn's absence. He sends it right into the network. Margin back to 5. The Norse down 5-10.
Gunther, his 17th error on the year. Only 3 aces. Hasn't played a lot, only 55 sets, but a little mishap there.
So here's our impact player, Griffin Wheatley, who goes right to Scherer. Machado in reverse to Ryan Lewis. One-on-one rejection from Juan Marco Diaz. That's 6'9" against 5'11" in the latter one.
Juan Marco Diaz reminds me a lot of a former volleyball player, Keone Thim from BYU. Small, but can jump. That guy played here last year. Very similar play style.
The offering from Wheatley, mishandled by Basilio, and just like that, a little wind in the sails of the Norse.
Talk about a 3-0 run. These Norse are not dead yet. I mean, this is a game, this just shows volleyball is such a game of runs.
The visitors showing there's a whole lot of action left. Good crowd on hand for the Wheatley serve. Scherer ups it. Machado to the back row, Basilio. Scherer keeps it up on a diving extension. Rogers will try on 2, rejected by the Norse. Macho takes a swing and finds the campfire. 11-7, and Macho back to the line.
I think a lot of teams forget Lucas Machado is a lefty. He comes out of nowhere sometimes. Looks like he might be going for the set, and then what? Bam! He sits it on the floor. Cardinals up 4.
Macho, the southpaw, gets it right to Diaz. Up the middle, it's Peterson. Basilio sets up. Machado back to Basilio on the back row. Handled by the Norse, it'll be Wheatley, just a free ball. Macho, Scherer, Rogers on 3, gets it through to the upping wink. Back row, Wheatley, Scherer keeping it up. This is the longest rally of the day so far. Rogers through 3 and into the stands, 12-7, and Ball State picking up where they left off.
An underrated element that's kind of hard to describe on radio is Victor Scherer. The way he was able to defend so many attacks from Northern Kentucky, he has been such a bright spot on this team, and it's awesome he's been playing so well with him being a senior.
He's gotten better and better throughout the year. Machado gets it to Wink. Diaz tries and it goes in the stands, but not before hitting the palm of Ryan Lewis, effectively a tool for the true freshman. It'll be 12-8 now, and we've rounded out the rotation of service for the Norse. Ryan Peterson gets another try. Scherer, a diving play. Rogers, and no, it's Lewis from the outside spot. We've seen it in the latter half of the year. That time, Lewis from the outside, Rogers in the opposite spot.
We were both a little confused there. We looked up. It's the other blonde hitter for the Cardinals. It's Lewis. Kind of confusing there, but nonetheless, he gets it done.
And here we are back to the Cardinals rotation. Here's Patrick Rogers for the second time. He sails it too far. And another souvenir for some of the fans. It's a good crowd on hand today.
Really good crowd, especially even though it is the 1 versus 8. Still can mean anything. As we see here, only a 4-point difference early in set 1.
Here's Will McKelvin. Seems left for him. He gets it right to Basilio. Surrett, his first attack will land on the hardwood. It's 14-9. And Surrett with an early impact.
Ball State, the coaching staff, or whoever calls their offensive rotation, does a great job of knowing when to attack the middle. They don't always, but when they do, it seems like they have a pretty good success rate.
Surrett began the year as the 3rd middle blocker on the depth chart behind Savitsky Lind and Will Patterson. Now at the end of the year, the order in the depth chart has been Savitsky Lind, Surrett, Gunther, and then Patterson at the 4 spot.
Dylan, I'm looking on the bench. One of their bench players has literal Viking horns on, so he's repping the whole squad right now.
They are the Norse for a reason. When Marco Diaz serves wide, both teams trading errors to make it 15-10 into the media timeout. Ball State starting hot as they have all year. The Norse just looking to respond. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
To ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
It's a 15-10 ball game in set 1 between Ball State and Northern Kentucky, and when you look at the conference of the MIVA, it's very similar to what we're familiar to in the Mid-American Conference across other athletics. Anyone can beat anyone. There's a lot of parity year to year. And when you look at the last 5 MIVA winners working back, you've got Loyola last year, 2 straight years of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Ball State before that in Coach Cruz's first year, and then Lewis in 2021.
I mean, yeah, last year Loyola swept the awards. They were co-champs along with McKendree, but eventually lost in the quarterfinals of the national tournament.
Ryan Lewis gets us back in action. Ball State's front row showing their presence, and an attack error from Griffin Wheatley falls into the black of the Terraflex.
Right out of the timeout, no matter what Coach Palionis was saying in that huddle, did not work. Cardinals right back to work.
So Baby Giraffe will spin and serve off the forearm of Wheatley. No one was there for the Norse attack. For Ball State, it's Daniel Gunther. 1 swing, 1 kill for the middle block position.
His emergence has been so amazing to watch, but it's also come at such a needed time. Not only an injury to Braden Savitsky-Lind, but the Cardinals just needed to beef up that middle blocker position.
And all of these middle blockers have been so efficient. Lewis to Trespase Wink. Whitley coming in for the second touch. It's a fight at the stripe. Blair forearms. And then he gets it right into Victor Scherer. The libero hits the deck. And 17-11, but a dominant swing from Adam Blair.
Last 8 matches, he hasn't hit below 231. A guy who has been so efficient on the offensive side for Northern Kentucky.
So Blair will try once more, but far and wide to make it 18-11. Service error number 6 between these two squads. Worthen silent for the Basilio serve. Thought he had the corner for a minute. Instead, it's out.
They went for that back left corner wasn't able to get it down. Northern Kentucky showing some pretty good discipline, cuts the deficit to 6.
We're back to Nick Whitley. He's got just 15 aces on the year. Machado the set, Gunther the try, and he gets the tool from the middle off the arm of Will McKelvin.
Yeah, Gunther got enough height on that hit, was able to get it down. Cardinals only 6 away now from winning set 1.
And here comes Tyler Wint to serve. The true freshman, we've seen him in this spot all year long, late in the set, coming in as a serving presence.
Yeah, 43 sets played, only 1 start.
Wheatley gets the first touch, and the back row, Juan Marco Diaz got the swing, went off the arm of Surratt, and a tool for the utility man. It's 19-13.
Almost hit our good friend Tucker Bidding there in the analyst seat. Luckily, he dodged it. He's a volleyball coach, so he knows how to dodge those things.
Bidding and Mick Tidrow on call for ESPN Plus tonight. Grief and Wheatley will serve. Mishandled by Will Basilio. That's his 2nd reception error of the game and his 30th of the year.
We really haven't heard a lot from Wheatley, which is surprising. We picked him as our impact player, leads the team in kills per set, and he's done pretty much nothing so far for the Norse, and they're not down by too much.
In last game against Ball State, Wheatley led the way with 17 kills. That one sails wide, and the Cards win the race to 20. It's 2014. A timeout will be taken by Coach Jim Palalonis. Just a chance to chat things over with your guys. We talk supremely about the importance of attack percentage, and I've mentioned it time and time again through both men's and women's volleyball. The ideal percentage, coaches say, for a team that's hitting really well is about 250. In this early going, Northern Kentucky had a great 267 clip, but Ball State, 67% of their attacks have landed. And Northern Kentucky, the one thing that they can hang their hat on is their blocking presence. They're going to need it.
Yeah, you look at the blocks right now, there's only been 1, and it goes to the Norse. But going back to the attack percentage, yes, the 267 is a great percentage to start, but the fact that Ball State is 40% better here in the early going, you're not going to get a lot done if the other team's attacking at a 40% better clip.
Well, and the last time the Norse were at Worthen, they were hanging with the Cardinals in the first set. Ball State won 25-21, and the Norse actually out-hit the Cardinals 435 to 385 in the first set.
Yeah, they've lost all 6 sets they've played against Ball State. Obviously, both ending in sweeps. But again, like you said, the last time they were in Worthen, they gave Ball State a run for their money, and that's kind of been Northern Kentucky's season all along. I mean, a couple days ago versus McKendree was the same reason. They've played close in a lot of sets, just haven't gotten it done.
Lucas Machado brings us back. Wheatley the first touch. McKelvin, he tries from the opposite spot, but rejected by Ball State. Diaz has another swing, and Ryan Lewis gets just enough on it. It's out of play in 2015. Cards still lead. For the first time today, we will see Matt Cosgrove, the outside hitter, getting some time.
9 aces, 42 errors on the season.
He swings right into the arms of Victor Scherer. Patrick Rogers is in that opposite spot, and he does just enough. You don't have to bring it down with such ferocity. You just got to tap it home, find the opening, and Rogers did just that.
As hard as he can swing, he also knows when to give it just a little soft touch. He knows how to play the game of volleyball pretty well, I'd say.
The MIVA Player of the Year. It's hard to argue otherwise. Rogers swings the response from McKelvin. Scherer somehow keeps it up. Machado sets to Lewis. Whistle blows, and it's Ball State's point. Scramble mode for the Cardinals, but star power comes out, and Baby Giraffe finishes the rally.
Victor Scherer, he about dug that one out of a hole in the ground. I mean, that kill was going nowhere. Anyone should have recovered it, but that's what he did, and Ball State only 3 points away now.
And another timeout taken by Coach Palalonis. Ball State leading the Norse 22-15 early on in this one. To this point, leading both squads in kills is Patrick Rogers with 4. And from the outside hitter spot, all year he's been incredibly efficient, hitting at 40% coming into today, 6th in the nation and 4th in the MIVA. Today, He's matching his team's total at 67%. The team now at 70% in this first stanza.
Dylan, he had 16 kills versus Loyola. They played 3 sets. Can you imagine if that was a 5-setter? What his stat line would have looked like in his season high is 26 for a reason.
He certainly makes things a lot easier for this Cardinal offense. When things go awry, just set it Patrick Rogers' way, and more often than not, he can bring it down.
We talked a lot about off-air who's going to be that replacement when he eventually graduates, but focusing back on this year, how sweet would it be to end with a MIVA championship and just a berth in the NCAA tournament for a guy like Patrick Rogers, Victor Scher, people that have been with the program for a while and haven't.
Rogers, Scherer, Satterfield, and Rawitz, the 4 seniors on this squad. It'll be Rogers from behind the stripe, trying to close out set 1 early. He knuckleballs it to Matt Cosgrove. McKelvin will try again and blast it into the arms of the aforementioned Rogers to make it 22-16.
McKelvin in his 2 matches this season against Ball State hasn't hit below 467. So again, showing why they're going to him a lot on that near side.
A combined 9 kills in his 2 games against the Cardinal and White. He now offers it to Scherer. Machado down the middle to Patrick Rogers from the back row. Thought it would be Surrett for a minute. Instead, it's P-Rod from the back.
Cardinals going with the fake right down Broadway. Rogers, of course, ending with the kill. Not a surprise there.
Very quiet crowd for the serves of these Cardinals. Surrett just a little too much on it. And another service error for Ball State. That's number 6. And we've reached double digits between these 2 squads. It's 23-17. Cardinal advantage.
It's coming at an interesting time. Ball State's only 2 points away from winning the set.
An orthodox stance for Juan Marco Diaz. Machado to Lewis. Diaz has to go over his head to handle it and free-balled over by Matt Cosgrove. Machado back to Basilio. There's the power we've been waiting for. It is set point. Ball State ahead 24-17 over the visiting Norse. And here comes Marty Canavan.
That rally should not have been won by Ball State. Victor Scher and Patrick Rogers ran into each other before that point eventually happened, but nonetheless, they arrive at set point.
Throughout this week of practice, Coach Iandolo's goal for Marty Canavan was to be ready at all times, and here he is, hoping to close out set 1. Griffin Satterfield checks in as well to serve. He sends it away to Cosgrove. Whitley the set. Blair with a howitzer right down the middle. And set 1 is still alive, 24-18.
Yeah, nobody home on that one. Blair saw the opening middle of the floor, took advantage while he can.
And Blair has been shut down in the last 2 games against these Cardinals. Just 4 kills in those 2 matches. He serves right into the network. And just like that, Ball State takes set 1, 25-18. Second set's going to have Sam Klug wearing the hat of play-by-play. While we switch headsets, we're going to step aside. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Hey Cardinal fans, show your pride wherever you go with the Ball State Financial Debit Card, now featuring your favorite mascot, Charlie Cardinal. It's the perfect card for students, alumni, and lifelong fans, letting you show your Cardinal spirit with every purchase you make. And with Ball State Financial, you'll get all the convenience, security, and hometown service you deserve from people who love this community as much as you do. Explore the card in your hometown credit union at fcfcu.com/chirp. Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/MuncieOrtho to learn more.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital, the best student radio channel in the country. This is Jack Kaiser. I broadcast for Big Ten Network, and I'm a proud SportsLink alum. Chirp, chirp.
Thank you, Jack, and we are back from Johnny Worthen Arena. MIVA quarterfinal action. Ball State took set number 1, 25-18. Sam Klug alongside Dylan Budd for set number 2. When we go to set number 3, Dylan Budd will retake play-by-play duties. But Dylan, set 1, 25-18 goes for the Cardinals. Wasn't close, but it also wasn't that dominating fashion that maybe we were looking for from Ball State.
Well, the Cardinals lead in just about everything statistically after 25 points of play, but they're tied in attacks right now. Both of them at 20 on the day. It just comes with Ball State being more productive with them. They're hitting at 70% to the Norse's 35%, double what the visitors are hitting at this point. And it means that Ball State has 6 more kills than the Norse, 15 to Northern Kentucky's 9. That's really been the margin. It's just star power more than anything.
Both teams have not been very clean from the service line, but where they have been clean is they're attacking. They've attacked at a pretty good rate. Not a lot of attacking errors so far, 3 with the teams combined. And again, Ball State 70% clip so far, Northern Kentucky 35. So they retake the floor. They do their substitutions. In comes Leo Tres Wink, a non-usual starter, but does get a nod today here on March 18th. Patrick Rogers gets us underway from the end line. Cardinals won set 1, 2 sets away from hosting the MIVA semifinal. Spins it up, and we are underway in set 2. Dug out by Wheatley. Far side by Peterson, doesn't go. Right down the middle was Surrett. Norse able to recover. Ball State back on the offensive. This time it's Surrett. Same place, same time. He gets a kill.
It was 2 straight tries to Jacob Surrett in the first one. I don't know how the Norse kept it up. It was pinballing on their side. It just had to be free balled over. If it isn't broken, don't fix it. Go right back to him, and it's 1-0.
Updates from around the MIVA. McKendree took set 1 on Ohio State. Same score as here, 25-18. Lewis is about to take set 1 from Lindenwood. A little bit of a surprise there. Big booming kill from Blair. And they get one back. 1-1 in set 2.
Yeah, and Adam Blair's been the hot hand, leading the Norse in kills with 4, and every single one of them dominant.
His 38.5% attacking clip leads the team. Underway from Diaz, sets it away. Middle attack fake goes to Rogers, but it's successfully defended. They go near side. 3-set block is not enough.
I like the idea of a 3-man block between Basilio, Lewis, and Surrett, all there up front, but none of them could get forward enough on the net. And it hit one of their hands and then just dropped in front of them.
The duality of a lot of these outside hitters for Ball State to also go up and block. And Rogers did it again, but it's Surrett. Second time this set. Cardinals knotted up at 2 apiece.
Hey, like I said, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. Stick with the hot hand. Certainly Northern Kentucky's doing that with Adam Blair. How about Ball State to get their middles going?
So Surrett, 2 kills on the set, now serves this one. Is it out? It is. Decision making good for the Norse, and they survive the Surrett steamer.
The biggest blemish on Jacob Surrett to this point is those errors that we've seen from pretty much everybody on the team and across the conference. 8 aces to 38 errors, now 39 after that one.
I just love that Devlin Biggs is wearing the Norse hat. I think that's awesome.
You gotta love it.
It shows just the culture of this team. Looks like we have a review now. Coach Iandola pulling out the green card. Was the serve in from Jacob Surrett, another transfer that has been instrumental in the 2026 Ball State men's volleyball squad.
It was very close, and that official on that line, the line judge, he had to stare it down very closely before raising the flag up. It's certainly close enough to call for a review, but in my uneducated opinion from high up here in the eagle eye of Worthen, I do think it was out.
I would side with you on that one. And one more update from around the MIVA. Loyola Chicago goes extras with Purdue Fort Wayne, but they get it done. 1-0. And now the review is out. Point to Northern Kentucky. And to cap it off, Loyola won that set 27-25. So Purdue Fort Wayne showing some fight in Chicago. But back to this match, it's 3-2. Northern Kentucky leads in set 2.
But hey, you gotta love some MIVA action. That McKendree Ohio State game, like we mentioned in the open, really probably the most important one for Ball State to this point.
And again, the teams that lose all these matches, their season's done. There's no NIT for men's volleyball. Lewis goes to work and finds the far corner. 3-3, striking right back after a failed challenge.
Will McKelvin just couldn't do anything about it. He's normally in that opposite hitter spot. It's not often that you see someone of his caliber in the back row.
Lewis goes from kill to now a service error. Cardinals continue to struggle from that point, and they don't clean it up. It really could sour their season.
And there's quite the worry with Lewis with his errors as well. But when you've got so many aces like Ryan does with 31 on the year, I think you're willing to take that trade-off.
Tap by Machado. Is it enough? It is. Found it at the net and simply put it to rest.
Second touch kill. It wasn't pretty, but you got to love it. Machado, one of the guys in the MIVA that is so good with his deception. First team all MIVA selection, and you see why right there.
Yeah, Cards have 4 to the MIVA squads. Rogers, Machado, Savitsky, Lind. And there is another ace. Cardinals take their first lead, a set 2.
And there's the issue of not having Trace Klausing in. It was a miscommunication between Trespase Swink and Griffin Wheatley.
Basilio again. They set, they go middle. Not enough, it is. The diving Basilio can't get there. That's time it's Wheatley getting it done from the middle position. So Wheatley returns to the end line. 5-5 knotted. Much closer set to start this one off. Remember in set 1 it was like 6-1 Cardinals. Scherer. They go back to Rogers down the middle. Finds the sideline.
And this is why we love Patrick Rogers in any part of the Cardinals rotation, whether he's in the back row, in the front row, in the outside spot, in the opposite spot.
He can do it all.
He's able to hit it from anywhere on the floor.
So Daniel Gunther from the ball lettering. Dug out Wheatley. He gets it right back. No, they fake. It does go back to Wheatley, and it's deflected off a Cardinal point for the Norse.
It was a nice swing from Ryan Peterson, but it did sail very far on that try. Enough to get Surratt's hand, but maybe it was the deflection off his digit that sent it into the stands.
Surratt. There's Rogers on the near side, not good enough. They go with McEllickson, and he's stuffed. Domination from the Towers, standing tall at the net.
And that was the one thing we hadn't seen from Ball State so far today. It's just their first block of the evening. That one coming off 3 guys, Machado, Basilio, and Rogers all up there.
Their success rate with that 3-man block is probably pretty high. Far side attack for the Norse, sails a little too far, but off a Cardinal. That time it's Diaz getting it done.
Well, then it's that 3-man block again. 3 Cardinals up there to contest, but Juan Marco Diaz, all 5 feet 11 inches of him, still able to get contact.
McElvin from the B in Ball State gets us underway. Middle attack is Basilio. Not enough. Off the Jumbotron. Diaz again. Sails too far, but saved by Basilio. Scherer the slide, and they free ball over. Rally continues. Blair is stuffed. Talk about a monster block. Nobody home. Cardinals up 8-7.
The one guy that had been able to contribute for Northern Kentucky was Adam Blair. For him to be stuffed one-on-one by Jacob Surratt, that's the biggest momentum shift of the game.
And again, Surratt He plays middle blocker, but he's not a guy you think is going to go up there and dominate the other middle blockers. Rogers, little too far. And we are knotted at 8 apiece here in set 2. Again, the Cardinals took set 1, 25-18, knotted here in set number 2.
Well, across the team, when it comes to total blocks, it's actually Ryan Lewis that leads that department with 72 from the opposite spot.
Diaz gets us underway. Here's Basilio. Make that a point for the Ball State Cardinals. 9-8 now.
With the power of Patrick Rogers, more than anything with Basilio, you think about his precision and his placement. That time, he's showing he's got a firecracker for an arm, too.
Basilio, only a sophomore, native of Ontario, Canada. They meet at the net for a joust. Nobody wins it. Weak play on the lefty. Down and in for Whitley.
You could tell as soon as that rally went his way, you could tell he was looking to do Lucas Machado-esque a second touch kill. Basilio was there to stuff it and keep the rally going, but it comes back to him. Why not try again?
Adam Blair, 5th in the MIVA in hitting percentage. So efficient and really the only bright spot for this Norse team. Lewis found the headline. They get it right back. Machado, Basilio. He hits his twin and down for another point. First to double digits.
In the first game against Northern Kentucky this year, when the Cards traveled to their hometown, Basilio didn't play in that first one. He had 7 kills when they were here at Worthen. He's already on pace to break that with 5.
They go with a near side attack. 3-man block again. Too much for the Norse. Ball State's rolling at the net, and nothing is getting by the Great Wall of Ball State.
And it's Daniel Gunther who comes in and gets that stuff. He's brought so much energy off the bench.
The freshman really didn't play early on in the year, has worked his way into a starter. Injury or not, he would be there. Lewis the save, Machado the set. It's Rogers. But the Norse survive. They go far side, but he's stuffed yet again. Whitley can't find the floor, and the Cardinals up 3.
And that is the Daniel Gunther effect. Comes in, and honestly, when you've got guys like Braden Savitsky-Lynn, Ryan Lewis, Jacob Surratt, the list goes on. I truly believe as a true freshman, the best blocking presence on this team is Daniel Gunther.
Time out for Coach Jim Palilonis and the Norse of Northern Kentucky. We're going to take a short break on SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/MuncieOrtho to learn more.
Hey Cardinal fans, this is Connor Onion, play-by-play broadcaster with Fox Sports, and I'm a proud SportsLink alum. You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. Chirp, chirp.
Thank you, Connor Onion, one of the greats here from Ball State SportsLink. We're back from Worthen, though. 12-9, Cardinals lead in set number 2. They took set number 1 by a 7-point advantage. And a real bright spot, not only in the whole match, but this set, Dylan, has been Daniel Gunther.
And it's just his 25th set play to the year, like we said before. Probably the biggest surprise on this team.
Lewis gets us underway. Wheatley, the attack, not enough. The Cardinal defense handles it. They go with Lewis. The 0-3 set block is not enough. The Cardinals find their way through the barrage from Northern Kentucky. 4-point advantage, largest of the set.
And that time it's because Ryan Lewis had so much buildup on the attack. He had a few steps before getting the leap. That's why he beat through 3.
Diving save by Diaz. They just try to tap it down. What a play from Griffin Wheatley.
It's almost using that block as a 4th touch. Wheatley using his precision to hit it on the right spot of Lucas Machado's hands to where he couldn't send it back to the north side. Instead, it would go down for Anticlimactic kill from Wheatley.
So now Whitley from the end line. The big lefty sends it away. Share the set. They go with Basilio on the near side. Not enough. Now the Norse attack. Down the middle, it's Whitley again. Miscommunication at the net, and it's Daniel Gunther. And we have a Cardinal on the floor. Looks to be Lucas Machado. Looks to be a little bit shaken up after falling on the floor. Not sure which part of the body he hit.
So on the back row attack from Northern Kentucky, Gunther came in from the right side. Machado came in from the left side. You got to worry that Lucas Machado is okay, now getting up and walking in his own power, but favoring that left leg.
Leg injuries are scary and not wanted. We already saw it this year with Braden Savitsky-Lynn going down with his ankle. And in comes Griffin Satterfield to play that setter position. The Cardinals cannot deal another blow in terms of injury.
And with Savitsky-Lynn going down in the 5th set of the Lewis game, that was such a tough loss for this starting squad. If Lucas Machado goes down, a first-team All-MIVA selection, at one point he was the AVCA National Player of the Week. He's brought such an impact.
Too much from Whitley, and the Cardinals get a quick point back up by 3, 14-11 in set 2.
So filling in for Machado will be Griffin Satterfield. Coach Iandolo has called him Mr. Consistent. He's the same guy every single day. The Cards need that right now.
Wheatley defended at the net. Quick tap down. That's Peterson. What a smart play finding the open hole.
I thought that Pat Rogers had a block on that. He was able to get a hand on it as he was going down. It almost looked like the Michael Jordan jump shot where you let go after the apex of your leap.
Wheatley from the service line. Satterfield cold off the bench, but it doesn't matter. Daniel Gunther fires it home.
And Gunther has clearly learned from Braden Savitsky-Lynn in the fact that he put so much torque on that attack.
Gunther goes from kill to the service line. Slight tap. Peterson, big swing, and too much for the freshman to handle. Gunther on the defense, not enough.
It's just been the game of hot hand to this point, and now it's Ryan Peterson who's become a catalyst for Northern Kentucky.
It doesn't look like Lucas Machado is still on the bench. He may have gone back to the locker room for the Cardinals. That one goes to the Cardinals after Zach Jarbo came in for a quick serve, some guy we don't see a lot.
He came in against Lindenwood and had a service error before being ushered right back out. This is his first game since then, another error on his label.
The set Blair, the fake. Diaz can't get it down. Diaz will try again, joust at the net, and it falls on the Cardinals' hardwood. The Norse get one back and cut it to 3.
Juan Marco Diaz is so much fun to watch, and it reminds me of another Cardinal, Adir Ben Schlush. May not be so prominent in the department of height, but he certainly has the vertical leap to make up for it.
This Northern Kentucky squad showing quite some fight in their first season as McElvin sends it into the net for a service error. Their first season as a program. The coach was hired in the summer of 2024. This is their first year.
And all but 5 of the guys on their roster are freshmen. It's difficult to build a program so early, but one way or another, they're in the MIVA tournament. They've done something right.
Wheatley, the try, successfully defended. They go back to Diaz, hits the net, doesn't get over. Back to a 4-point advantage for Ball State.
And the blocking presence has shown up in this second set. They only have 4 on the day, but not registered are the blocks that keep rallies going. That time, Ball State continually rejecting, and then the Norse just can't keep it up.
Patrick Rogers from the service line. It looks like he was aiming at the Norse bench right there. Little too off target.
And again, it's the conversation of, are you willing to take that trade-off? Now Rogers has eclipsed over 75 errors on the year, but at the same time, he's got 32 aces, 9th best in the MIVA. You're willing to make that trade-off.
So Kyle Sauer is in the game, the last man on the roster in terms of numerical order. The graduate from Elgin, Illinois, went to Elgin Academy. 3 blocks on the year. Definitely has the height the Norse might be looking for as Diaz begins this rally. Surrett was blocked at the net. They go far side with Wheatley. Bad set, but he's able to compromise, and he still gets the kill. Set was way far back on his trigger hand. Still gets the kill for the Norse.
We've talked about the Cardinals' star power. That time it's Griffin Wheatley showing out. Everything's out of rhythm for Northern Kentucky, but even falling away, he gets it done.
Diaz and the Norse were within 2, but he just gave him a service error. And so it's 19-16 Cards back on top as Tyler Wint and Daniel Gunther check back in.
And generally we see Winton in the latter half of the set. Once Ball State is getting ever so close to a set win, this is a vote of confidence from Coach Iandolo.
Sauer to Blair with the right hand. Falling away, it doesn't matter. Norse within 2.
It had been quite a while since we heard Adam Blair. That time he shows up and reminds us he is still here. Woof, what a blast.
But they sub him out right away. Grant Seimer in the game. Funny enough, he went to the rival high school of Adam Blair, the guy he just subbed in for, Lakota East and Lakota West, in the Cincinnati area. But Daniel Gunther awakens the Worthen crowd, finding the hole on the right sideline.
That's why middle blocker attack percentages are generally higher than your pin hitters, because you just have more space to work with. Gunther, even as a true freshman with enough volleyball under his belt, he's smart enough to find the opening very quickly, and he did so right there.
Lewis, received by Wink. That time it's too much for the other libero, Scherer, to handle.
The blocking for the Cardinals was completely out of whack. Don't think any schedule had been called. All 3 in the front row were there to lead, but none of them in formation, and meant Scherer couldn't handle it.
Lucas Machado is back on the sideline for the Ball State Cardinals. A great sign for this team. A dig from Patrick Rogers, something we don't see. It's Diaz to Wheatley. Big block up front, but off the Cardinals. It's a 1-point set. What a turn of events here.
And the Norse have done such an excellent job of hanging with the Cardinals. I've said it previously, they are no slouch even in their first year. Yes, they have several losses, but they've stayed with it in every opponent.
You think about the times they were in Worthen, the McKendree game, their last time out, but it's sent into the net by Sauer, a guy, again, doesn't play a lot. So now it's back to a 2-point advantage.
It's Sauer's first appearance since March 27th against Queens.
Basilio, just over the net, doesn't graze it though. Down for Diaz. Juan Marco Diaz pumps up his teammates, and the rally towels are waving in the visitors section.
He now leads the way for either end in kills with 8. Great work from him.
He's hitting above 50% on this one. Wheatley. Right back over Diaz for another kill. It is! We are tied!
The tongue out for Juan Marco Diaz. You may as well. You're keeping your guys in the second set. And there is a non-zero chance that we could see extra sets in this one. I don't think anybody had anticipated so.
Griffin Wheatley from the end line. Scherer handles it. Satterfield, Rogers, dug out, but it falls. The Cards are back on top and 3 points away from a crucial set 2 win.
And here comes Marty Canavan. Another vote of confidence from Coach Iandolo, but when things go awry, just send it Patrick Rogers' way, and he'll take care of everything else.
Levels playing by Avicii, trying to get this crowd excited, but for being honest, they don't like how the way this set is trending. Canavan dishes it off. Miscue from the Norse offense gives the Cardinals a perfect opportunity, and it's Will Basilio taking that advantage.
And Basilio, one of the more stoic guys on this team, big-time back row attack and shouts in the Norse direction. It is a well-oiled machine on that far side right now.
Timeout. Jim Palilonis and the Norse squad. 23-21 in set 2. Now, Dylan, if you're in that huddle, you're really focusing on this set. If you don't win this set, it's not like your season's over, but this is probably the most crucial set, even more than set 3 maybe, because that might be wraps by the time it gets there. As just a side note, we see Lucas Machado doing some shuffles, trying to get that ankle ready. But if you're in that huddle, what are you saying to the squad?
Well, more than anything, it looks like Northern Kentucky is trying to do what Lewis did against Ball State, in that they're trying to make this a firefight. They've done a nice job of hanging with it. They're hitting at 41% to Ball State's 57%, and they're only down by 2. They've done quite a nice job, but it's a style that can't be maintained against a squad that is as good as Ball State, probably the best offense in the MIVA.
Yeah, you look at the statistics in the MIVA. Ball State first in kills percent, attack percentage. And then you go down the line, a couple of seconds in blocks. Their weak spot might be the digs, if we're being honest, and that's really been the weak point of their defense, but has not caused them too much trouble. 13 wins in MIVA play this year.
Well, the thing is, they're low in digs because they haven't really had to, as many as other teams, because the offense has done such a great job of getting balls down early. But even on the defensive end, 2nd in total blocks to Lewis and 8th in the nation in that mark.
They go with the middle attack. Peterson that time, and it's too much for the Cardinals to handle. Back to a 1-point set, 23-22.
And it's a Ball State staple from Kelly Miller-Phillips, Coach Cruz, Coach Iandolo, and now Coach Paulonis of calling a timeout and then devising up a play that'll score you right out.
Yeah, Paulonis, a former assistant for both the men's and women's program. Lewis tries, saved by the Norse. They go with Wheatley, it falls, knotted up at 23 again. Are you kidding me? Back and forth we go, the 3rd tie of this set alone.
And that's the veteran presence of Griffin Wheatley showing. A 3-man block, just gets it over all 3 of them.
So Peterson from the end line, chance to take the lead. Rogers, name stay, he makes it fall. The Cardinals have arrived at set point. And if they get this one, that undefeated record went up 2-0, looms above the head of the Northern Kentucky men's volleyball team.
That time the attack went to Kyle Sauer, who hasn't had much time in these past few contests. Smart move from Rogers.
Satterfield getting time with the Machado injury. They go with Wheatley, does it fall? That time it's Diaz. Juan Marco Diaz says not so fast, the 4th tie of this set alone.
And we're gonna go to extra points in this one, but the Ball State blocking presence in the latter half of this set has been completely out of whack, nothing scheduled.
Make that 11 ties in this set alone, it's into the net. McElvin, a costly error. And the Cardinals a chance with Rogers at the service line to go up 2-0. 25-24 Cardinals lead. Rogers already has a couple aces on the day. Make it 2. Running start, here we go. That one doesn't fall though. They reset, saved by Sauer. Wheatley goes, blocked up front, saved by Blair. They go with Diaz, saved by Satterfield. Scherer free ball up. Lewis the attack, doesn't fall. We play on. McElvin, saved by Rogers. Rogers, stuffed, do they save it? No! Miscommunication, and the Cardinals have a 2-0 set advantage. 26-24 in set 2.
It's just Patrick Rogers taking advantage of Northern Kentucky miscommunication. The biggest problem for Ball State this year is when they are facing scramble mode more than anything. And when a team is doing something that you can't expect because even the opponent doesn't know what they're doing, it's hard for Ball State to respond to it and kind of devise a plan. It's out of system by Northern Kentucky, and that time Patrick Rogers just wants to get this set over.
We're going to take a break. Cardinals lead 2-0. When we come back, we'll have a little bit of halftime action and then set 3 action with Dylan Budd returning to the play-by-play headset. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/MuncieOrtho to learn more.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital, the best student radio channel in the country. This is Jack Kaiser. I broadcast for Big Ten Network, and I'm a proud SportsLink alum. Chirp, chirp.
2 sets down, Cardinals, the 2-0 advantage and a chance to sweep Northern Kentucky in the MIVA quarterfinals. Sam Klug alongside Dylan Budd on SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Well, Dylan, that was a thriller of a set. 26-24 goes to the Cards. What did you take away from that craziness?
Well, between set 1 and set 2, it was two completely different Northern Kentucky teams. Ball State won the first 25-18, one of the larger set margins in this young series history between the two programs, but having to go to extra points in that second set, 26-24, it's the closest margin we've had in any one of the sets, but in this 3-game series installment between the two. So Northern Kentucky, this is a familiar foe, and they're starting to get more and more acclimated. In the first couple Northern games, we started to see Ball State go down the bench a little bit. Northern Kentucky started to falter off as the game progressed. So far, most of the Cardinal starters have been in for much of this, except for Griffin Satterfield coming in for Lucas Machado. The starters are in, and Northern Kentucky is still hanging with them. It just goes to show that they're getting increasingly better with every game and every opponent.
Before we turn it back over to you for set number 3, one last look around the MIVA. Loyola Chicago takes set 2 versus Purdue Fort Wayne on the verge of a sweep. And McKendree, same score in set number 2, 25-18, up 2-0. 4-4 in set 3. In the 4 and 5. And then look at this. Set 1 goes to Lewis. Set 2, only 2 points away for Lewis being up 2-0. They upset Ball State about a week ago, and they're on the verge of upsetting the 3-seeded Lindenwood Lions.
Well, Ball State beat Lindenwood twice this year and split the series against Lewis, with both of those games going to 5. Yes, the Flyers are the 6th seed, but it's because there's so many prolific teams above them. They are no slouch, and we saw that about a week ago.
That is not a team that Ball State wants to face in the final. Lewis Flyers. We now turn it back over to Dylan for play-by-play in set number 3. Cardinals lead 2-0.
Well, hey, let me do a little spin. Hey, all right, here we go. Set 3 just about to be underway. It'll be Ryan Peterson, the top of the serve order for Northern Kentucky. The visitors go back to that far side. And his first offering into the black of the Terraflex. Ball State, early lead so far, 1-0.
That one was clearly going out, but again, Ball State using their decision-making on that one, not jumping to any conclusions.
Service error number 22. And here comes P-Rod. Less of a fireball, Trespas's swing can handle it. The first swing will go to Juan Marco Diaz, but Ryan Lewis is there with a change of skyline. It's 2-0.
If you're the Norse, you don't want this to be a repeat of set number 1 when they were down 6-1, and it looks like they could be trending that way.
Rogers, the spin and swing. Again, a Trespase swing, or so we thought. Into the hardwood first, and it's 3-0 with the third ace for Patrick Rogers today.
Rogers has been dominant in the serve receive. He's had a couple digs. He's also had 3 service errors. He's done it all today.
Rogers to exchange one more time to Trespase swing. The set from Sauer. Juan Marco Diaz into the arms of Scherer. We play on. Lewis through 3. Sends it home to make it 4-0.
I said they don't want to make it a repeat of set 1, but we're heading right in that direction. 4-0. How about Victor Scherer? Another clinic put on by him in the dig department. And Lucas Machado is back.
Matt Cosgrove comes back in as well for size. Rogers clearly targeting Trespase swing. Kentucky survives. Scherer the set. Machado up to Jacob Surrett. No Norseman can get on it. It's 5-0. And another assist for the injured Lucas Machado.
He might not even say he's injured. A little mishap there in set number 2, but he's back and better than ever.
In the Lewis game, we saw him crash hard into media row. There was some concern over his knee, but he's sticking around. Rogers spins it to McKelvin. On the other end, it's Blair. Lewis forearms. Machado the bump. Miscommunication, and Rogers an underhand bump out of play. And Northern Kentucky's first point, pretty anticlimactic.
Yeah, I think Ball State wanted that one to try and go on a run to see how long they could go without giving up a point to Northern Kentucky. And like you said, anticlimactic. They didn't really do much to earn that one.
Here's Will McKelvin from the stripe. Line drive serve, still too much out of play. And now 6-1 for Jacob Surrett.
How about Patrick Rogers dodging that serve, knowing it was going out? I mean, he's a pretty tall guy, got out of the way. It just shows how high his volleyball IQ is.
The high toss from Surrett. The ball crosses the timeline. Service ace for the middle blocker. How about that? 7-1.
Rare air for Jacob Surrett, his 9th ace on the year. And it looks like Northern Kentucky has seen enough.
Jim Palalonis calls timeout. Potentially just one left in this match. Ball State ahead early, 7-1, shades of the first set. We're going to step aside for just a moment. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. This is Jaron Matheny with Summit City Sports and Indiana Tech Athletics, a proud SportsLink alum. Go Cards!
So Ball State leads in the outset of the third stanza 7-1. We saw a very similar case in the first set. Ball State really an early run that kept them with a very comfortable lead for the duration of the set.
Yeah, these sets have been quite opposite of each other, with the second set in the middle being an outlier. Northern Kentucky never grabbed the lead in set number 2, but they sure held it close.
So here's Jacob Surrett. He just had a service ace that brought us into the timeout. Juan Marco Diaz, first and third touch, but Lewis rejects. He'll try again. Does he get it across? No. A net rejection makes it 8-1. Ball State in the driver's seat. Back out on the floor is Nick Whitley. For a while, the setter was the 6'8" graduate Kyle Sauer. Surratt to try once more. Hits the wrong part of his hand. Wanted that zone in the back corner, zone 4. Instead, a service error to make it 8-2.
We talk about the last time they played. The closest they've ever got in their games versus the Cards, 25-22. They're able to best that in the last set.
So when Marco Diaz throws a firecracker, and here's Will Patterson, who comes in with an immediate impact. The 4th tallest player in the MIVA at 6'10", and he uses all of his reach to get kill.
We talk about the shuffling of the middle block position. It's cool to see these guys, despite maybe not getting the playing time they want, happy for their team.
The set from Whitley. Back row Diaz. Patterson says no. Roof service from the 6'10" junior.
That's when the height of Juan Marco Diaz becomes a problem, and a guy like Will Patterson stands in your way.
Cards win the race to double digits easily. It's 10-2 and Ryan Lewis to serve. Trespase Swink diving all over the floor. Will McKelvin tried. Another net rejection. It goes right into the lattice. 11-2 Ball State.
Lewis has officially taken set 2. They're up 2-0 on Lindenwood.
Speaking of Lewis, here's Ryan with the service error to make it 11-3. Ryan Lewis had an amazing day against the Lewis Flyers just a couple weeks ago. 18 kills in that one. Here comes both Marty Canavan and Griffin Satterfield. They will replace Lucas Machado and Ryan Lewis. With Patterson out there in this circumstance, now you question if some of the starters will begin to trickle out.
And it looks like it might be going that way. I mean, they still got Patrick Rogers in, but we could see some more substitutions.
Will Patterson, 2 swings, 2 kills. It's 12-3.
Dylan, what I love about this most is who knows when you're going to need these guys and making sure they have reps leading up to it. An injury like Lucas Machado's today. Griffin Satterfield gets thrown into the mix, but it looked like he was ready to go.
So here comes Will Basilio. A bump from Juan Marco Diaz. Patterson got a little too excited, went for the spike, but out of play. An attack error from the middle blocker spot.
Something both teams have been really good at not committing is an attack error. Little clumsy there.
From the near right side, it's Nick Whitley. Satterfield the set to Canavan opposite side, and Marty Canavan's first kill of the day makes it 13-4. Cards close to a double-digit lead over the Norse in this 3rd set.
How about the awareness of Canavan to send that to the back corner and right off the hands of the Norse defenders?
The 21st K of the year for Canavan. Patterson serve, the response from Will McKelvin in the outside spot. It's just the way the rotation shook up. It's now 13-5.
Some miscommunication there on the Ball State side. Scherer trying to sub back in for Patterson. Looks like Patterson did not want to leave the floor. And I don't blame him.
Matt Cosgrove, Victor Scherer was able to keep it up. Rogers, an off-speed kill, saved by the Norse and free ball over by Diaz. Scherer, Satterfield, Rogers blasted into the Terraflex. 14-5, and the fastest kill of today comes from P-Rod.
That timing was immaculate, and I want to emphasize immaculate. They perfectly lined that up. Nobody was stopping that kill from Patrick Rogers.
That ball had a family. Canavan sends it away. The attack will go to McKelvin. Scherer comes ranging in. The try from Diaz rejected by Satterfield. Just like that, Will McKelvin able to take advantage and start to trickle this lead back. It's 14-6.
And again, loser of this, their year is over. That's something I think not enough people harp on. We touched on it a little bit earlier, but this is the end of the line for the loser.
It's desperation mode for Northern Kentucky, and that's not going to help them. Another service error. It's their 14th of the day, and Ball State now at 15. Not only are they at 15, but they're back to the top of their serve rotation. It's Patrick Rogers, who's got 3 aces today. There's Pace Swink, makes sure it's not 4. deception down the middle, and Matt Cosgrove has kill 91.
This is a guy, his first 17 matches played, he was averaging about 5 kills in the last 6 of the season. Only not even 1, it was 0.8. So he's finally getting some reps in, and a guy whose production has gone down, but not there.
Will McKelvin tries to keep this momentum going. Satterfield, a bump right into Meteor Row. Rogers, a swing from the back row. Blair, the alley-oop shot. Canavan can't pancake it. It's 15-8.
Blair, a guy, back-to-back games with 5 or more blocks. And then he's doing it on the offensive side. And he, in my opinion, has not played enough. He has been so dynamic for this offense.
McKelvin to swing once more. Mishandled by both squads. It's a fight at the stripe. Satterfield tried to block that kill from McKelvin, but instead hits the pole. It's 15-9, and just like that, the Norse on a 3-0 scoring run.
And don't blink. Volleyball can switch like that.
That Pat Rogers kill seems so long away. McKelvin right into the network. Northern Kentucky getting in their own way. Make it 16-9. Tyler Wint comes in for Will Basilio. Just like we mentioned, we're seeing these starters slowly come to the bench. The only starter left on the floor is none other than Patrick Rogers. Surratt's serve, bumped up by Wint. Satterfield, Rogers back row. It hit the top of the tape, and Satterfield couldn't corral. A pinballing rally makes it 16-10, and the Norse are now in double digits.
And it looked like a couple of players were kind of confused, like who's going to go get that one? And that's probably to do with a lot of the bench players being in, with the only 2 starters being Surratt and Rogers.
Scherer also checks in the libero shirt. Adam Blair takes advantage of a bad pass, and the margin is 5. It was as high as 9 earlier in this set. So on the floor for the Cardinals, Griffin Satterfield, Will Patterson, Victor Scherer, Patrick Rogers, Tyler Wint, Marty Canavan. Rogers the first touch. It'll go to Canavan on the opposite side, and Wint blasts it over. That ball crossed countries, and Tyler Wint, the true freshman, extinguishes.
A single switch of the arms, and the righty, a booming kill, gets them within 7 of a MIVA semi-spot.
Seams left for Griffin Satterfield. Pace Wink the bump into Will McKelvin. Rogers somehow keeps it alive. Wint on 3, Satterfield recovers, but slamming it through as Cosgrove. Scherer kept it alive. Scramble mode for both squads. A push from Cosgrove. Is it enough? No. Out of play, in Ball State up 18-11. Things getting ever more desperate as Coach Palonis looks to pull out the green card. He does just that. We're officially under review. The question is, did that Cosgrove kill either touch a Cardinal or fall out of play uncontested? My belief, my uneducated opinion, is the attempt from Cosgrove touched the pole, and that's what led to the decision.
Yeah, it's kind of dicey when you start with those shoves that he was going for. Kind of a 50-50% chance. You have to do it really well if you want to capitalize on it.
So was it the Cosgrove kill that touched, or rather the Marty Canavan block attempt? A 2-point swing here that, considering the landscape of this conference, could be all the difference. A short review leads to Ball State's point. The Cosgrove try did, in fact, touch that pillar on the far side.
I want to touch on just the tournament as a whole, too. Ball State dominating fashion so far today, but this is just one of the games they want to win. Not only do they want to win the MIVA final, they want to go deep into the NCAA tournament.
Griffin Satterfield gets us back in action. Big pop for the serve. Adam Blair comes soaring in over Nick Whitley and keeps Northern Kentucky in it.
So a 6-point advantage, and the Cardinals only need 7. We find ourselves in a similar spot of the last set when it was a big difference but Northern Kentucky fought their way back.
And here comes Delvin Biggs for the first time today. Right down the middle, it's Will Patterson. Clean up on aisle 3, it's 19-12. And Tyler Wint heads back to the line after a Patterson exclamation point. Big swing from Wint, picked up by Cosgrove. He'll get the third touch as well on 3. Scherer and Wint are both there. Canavan will try his swing, and that's a tool. Cards win the race to 20. They're 5 points away from moving on in the bracket.
Winner gets Ohio State or McKendree, which could be heading to set 4. But before that, another timeout.
Coach Palalonis, it could be the final timeout of this match with how the way things are shaking. We're going to step aside momentarily. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Hey Cardinal fans, show your pride wherever you go with the Ball State Financial Debit Card, now featuring your favorite mascot, Charlie Cardinal. It's the perfect card for students, alumni, and lifelong fans, letting you show your Cardinal spirit with every purchase you make. And with Ball State Financial, you'll get all the convenience, security, and hometown service you deserve from people who love this community as much as you do. Explore the card in your hometown credit union at fcfcu.com/chirp. Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union.
You're listening to SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Your home for live Ball State sports.
It's a 2012 ball game in set 3. Cards looking for a sweep over Northern Kentucky. The only starters left on the floor are Patrick Rogers, Jacob Surratt, and Victor Scherer. Sam, with just 5 points left between a Cards victory, is there any chance that we see any substitutions there?
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw an outside hitter like Jason Harris, even maybe the setter. They go to the number 3 Zarowski, just to get some guys some playing time in the postseason.
Here comes Tyler Wint with the serve. Whitley tried, but instead rejected. Canavan denies one of his own. Scherer a diving extension, but it's Matt Cosgrove with a big thump into the floor. It's 2013.
We're also seeing a little bit from Northern Kentucky going a little deeper in their bench, whether it's Matt Cosgrove or we saw Devlin Biggs a couple sets ago.
Speaking of going down the bench, for the second time today we see Grant Seimer. The serve from Nick Whitley. Scherer gets an arm on it. Rogers an off-speed kill picked up by Diaz. Now the swing from Cosgrove can't connect again. Satterfield opposite to Canavan, blasts it into Trace Pace swing. 4 points away from a victory.
Canavan having himself a day. I mean, he could have came in here and set up his teammates for some kills. Canavan now up to 2, make that 3 kills on the day.
So Will Patterson gets his chance to serve. An attack up the middle for Ryan Peterson. He's keeping his squad alive. An effective hitting percentage. It's his 6th kill of the evening. It'll be Matt Cosgrove from the far right side. Satterfield sets to Surratt. Denied, but kept alive. Here comes Canavan. Blasts it on the Cardinal side, out of play. Big time boom from the Chicago kid, and it's 22-14.
4th kill for Canavan. It's a guy whose season high is 7. He's approaching that. Has been lights out. Only 1 set played in their regular season finale versus Loyola.
Canavan right to Trace Pace swing. The libero has been targeted. Seimer from the opposite spot. Scherer the set. Rogers on 3 and out of play. It looked like there could have been a save there from Juan Marco Diaz, but instead it's 23-14. Ball State 2 points away. Worthen's getting restless. No more substitutions to this point on the Cardinal end. Marty Canavan still serving. Here he goes. Into Cosgrove. He gets the 3rd touch as well, mishandled. A Satterfield set. One more from Scherer. Rogers on 3, and he sticks the line. We are at match point. Trying to put this game on ice is Marty Canavan. Into the network. More room for dancing, I suppose. It's 24-15, and Ryan Peterson will serve. To keep this match and their season alive, Peterson out of play. Death by the service error. Ball State beats Northern Kentucky in 3 and is one step closer to their 16th MIVA championship.
The Cards get it done and book a date with the winner of McKendree and Ohio State on Wednesday at 7 p.m.
That should be a very exciting one, but for now, it's time to relish this victory that the Cardinals had. A team attacking percentage of 55, an unbelievable mark. Northern Kentucky did a nice job in their own right at 31%, but 55 across the board as a team, you just don't see that.
And I know, and you look at the Norse, even a 31% clip for them, but it was not their night. Their blocking was very subpar. The Cardinals get 6 blocks on the night and being probably the worst blocking team compared to the Norse.
Well, and here comes the conflict of depth. For Ball State, you lose Braden Savitsky-Lind, and Daniel Gunther and Will Patterson are there to step up. Like you said, 6 blocks on the day, and a few of them coming from Gunther off the bench. The issue for Northern Kentucky today, they were missing their libero Trace Klausing, and it led to the servers targeting Leo's Trace Swink, and in turn, that led to several service aces and Ball State's attack percentage to be so high.
It really did. I mean, that was death by the, you said death by the service error. I say death by not having the right players in the right position. And come tournament time, we mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, that is so vital. Having everybody in the place, in the correct place. The Cardinals were able to overcome it. Not so much for the Norse.
The Cards win in 3 against the visiting Northern Kentucky Norse. And it's just their first season, the Norse, but one way or another, they found themselves in the MIVA tournament. They held their own, especially in that second set, on the Cardinals' home floor. You got to hang your hat on a very productive young year.
Yeah, I mean, 15 and 19, it doesn't look good on paper, but there was a lot of matches and a lot of sets they fought well, and especially set number 2 today was just like that. And if they can take the momentum they had in set 2, maybe in a little bit of set 3 near the end, they're going to do just fine in the future, especially with a full couple years of recruiting talent.
And Sam, before we close this final show, any final thoughts for you?
Final thoughts is these Cardinals look primed and ready for the semifinals. We thought maybe with some of the injuries it would be kind of shaky, but man, oh man, did people step up, especially Daniel Gunther and Griffin Satterfield today. What a performance from this team.
Ball State beating Northern Kentucky in straight sets, as we've seen all year long, winning 25-18 in the first, 26-24 in the second, and now 25-15. The Northern Kentucky Norse's first season in Division I volleyball is officially over. That's going to do it for us. The final score here, Ball State 3, Northern Kentucky 0. I'm Dylan Budd, Sam Klug to my left. It's been such a pleasure to call this one. Thank you for listening. We will see you next time.
This has been a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.